What's going on, fight fans? It's just over an hour past noon, um, Thursday. And any of you guys want to take a guess where I'm at right now, feel free. Just leave a comment at the end of this video, at the bottom of this video. Yeah, right there. Don't be fooled by that pagoda over there. I'm nowhere near, or I'm nowhere in Asia. So, any guys want to leave a comment at the end of this video? Go ahead. Uh, take a guess where I'm at right now. Go ahead. So, fight night is 2 days away. MGM Grand, Las Vegas, let's do it. Here we go again. I gotta say, I've never been more nervous for a Pacquiao fight, or scared, until today, because I'm telling you guys right now, this is going to be the toughest fight he'll ever have. I'm always nervous for other Pacquiao fights because, he's held that #1 pound-for-pound spot since 2008 when Mayweather retired. And since 2008, Pacquiao's, he's held it consistently. He's never lost that spot. Every fight that he has, you always get nervous because you want him to keep that spot. And since then, consistency has been the key for Pacquiao, and he's never lost it. This fight, though, it's a little bit of an exception. I'm pretty nervous. I'm scared. When this fight came out in February, when they announced that Pacquiao and Bradley will fight on June 9th, I was like, wow, this is gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be scary, and time flew. I'm like, wow, I didn't think it would be almost June 9th. And I gotta tell you, it sucks that time flew because I'm dreading this fight. It's gonna be a close one. So let's get into the predictions. The first third of the fight, rounds 1 through 4, I think Freddie Roach is thinking, and many other boxing analysts are thinking, this fight's gonna start off really fast. Both fighters are gonna jump into it right away. I think the opposite. I'm thinking the opposite. I think that both fighters are gonna be very aware of their power, so they're gonna be a little tentative. They're just gonna measure up against each other, and then whoever wins those rounds, it's not really gonna matter that much. I think the later rounds is gonna matter the most. Who wins it? I think rounds 5 through 8, that's where the pace will pick up. It's going to pick up, and it's going to get violent. It's going to get violent really, really fast. I think, minus the knockdowns, I think this fight's going to be very similar to the Pacquiao-Marquez fights. All three of them. But again, no knockdowns. Filipino boxing fans or Pacquiao fans alike, Pacquiao's a crossover star now. Races of any kind, they love Pacquiao nowadays. Latinos like him. Even Black Americans like him, even though they're except for the Mayweather fans. A lot of Black American boxing fans love Pacquiao too. White Americans love him. Everybody loves him. He's a crossover star. Call me pessimistic, Pacquiao fans. I don't think that Manny's going to knock down Bradley at all. No chance. I'm not giving him any chance to knock him down. Bradley's got a very solid chin. It reminds me of Pacquiao's chin. Pacquiao has a very solid chin too. Can take a punch. I think there will be no knockdowns scored in this fight. The best they can do is going to be, they're going to wobble each other a little bit. They're going to buckle each other's knees. Bradley's going to hit Pacquiao hard a few times. Pacquiao's going to do the same to Bradley. They're going to buckle a little bit. Their knees are going to buckle. They're going to fall against the ropes a little bit or back up against the ropes. It's going to be back and forth. And that's what rounds 5 through 8 is going to look like. And now covering rounds 9 through 12, the last third of the fight, that's when it's going to get really desperate. And the pace is going to pick up even more. It's going to be very similar to the ends of the Pacquiao-Marquez fights. All three of them. It's going to be the same thing. You all remember the end of those 3 fights. Pacquiao and Marquez both got desperate. They were throwing punches like no other. You know, they were showing bottomless amounts of energy, endless amounts of energy. They just kept throwing punches. It's gonna get very desperate. Both of those guys are gonna wanna either end the fight by knockout, or they're gonna try to steal the later rounds. And I think Pacquiao and Bradley are gonna do just that. Again, no knockdowns, no chance for either fighters. No knockdowns. It's gonna be back and forth, action packed. It's gonna be like two comets colliding. And going to the end of the fight, I think Pacquiao's intangibility and his experience is going to be the key for him to get this split decision win over Bradley. I think it's going to be close. That's what I'm predicting, a split decision. I'm thinking Pacquiao wins 7 rounds, Bradley wins 5. Yes, that close. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be back and forth. Let's face it, Pacquiao fans, he's declining. You know, he's almost what is he? 33. He's almost 34. At the end of this year, he's gonna turn 34, and that's a familiar age. Remember when Pacquiao beat De La Hoya? De La Hoya was 35, I think, and at the end of next year, Pacquiao will be turning that same age, and we have to accept the fact that Manny is declining. He's not the same fighter anymore. We're never gonna see the same fighter that knocked out Hatton in 2 rounds, and who knocked out Cotto in 12 rounds. We're never gonna see that fighter again. 2009 was his peak year. I think that was the year Pacquiao just, you know, reached the peak visibility. You know, we're never gonna see that same fighter again. You know, call me pessimistic if you want. I'm being realistic. I'm not doubting Manny. I'm picking Pacquiao to win this fight. I think his experience is gonna be the key to trump Bradley at the end. But again, there's no way this fight's gonna end by knockout for either guy. You know, it's gonna end in a decision. You know, Bradley can end up winning this fight. Don't be surprised if he ends up winning. But I still say Pacquiao has the bigger chance, and I think I have enough faith for Manny to win by split decision. Again, 7 rounds to 5. He has it. It's his experience. This is Bradley's first time on the big stage. He's young. You know, he's been on a pay-per-view fight before, but it was on Manny's undercard last year with the Marquez fight. I think Bradley fought Joel Casamayor, and that was on the undercard though, so it doesn't really count as his pay-per-view fight because that was actually Pacquiao's fight. So I think this is Bradley's first time on the big stage, so I think that, you know, that's gonna, you know, mentally that might affect him a little bit. Manny's been on the big stage on these pay-per-view fights for so long. I can't even remember how. I mean, it's been ever since Morales, I think, or even Barrera. I'm not sure how long it's been since he's been on these big stage fights that, you know, has the entire public, you know, clamoring for more fights. You know, I don't remember how long he's been fighting on the pay-per-view stage. You know, but I do know that, you know, Manny's experience that gives him the intangibles to edge Bradley a little bit by the end. My dad back there disagrees with my prediction. He thinks that Pacquiao's gonna destroy Bradley. You know, you guys might think the same, but you know, I'm completely different on this. On my opinion. My opinion is completely different on what this fight's gonna end up like. I think it's gonna be very brutal. You might see a little bit of headbutts. Bradley's not a dirty fighter. It's, you know, it happens. You gotta expect that in boxing. Headbutts happen a lot. You might see some cuts from both fighters due to headbutts, but you know, it's expected. And yeah, there's my prediction. Split decision win. Manny wins 7 rounds to 5. You know, we have to accept the fact that he's not the same fighter anymore. He's declining, guys. I think by the time he's 34, I think this should. I actually think this should be his last year fighting. I really think he should just hang up the gloves after this fight. After this fight, even, you know, he should call it a career. But he wants to fight more. But I don't want him to end up like De La Hoya. De La Hoya had a sad ending. We all know how that turned out. Manny turned De La Hoya's face into a cherry, and we don't want Manny to end up looking like that. I really hope Manny just puts the gloves up, possibly by the end of this year or next year. I think he should really hang up the gloves after this. This fight's gonna be kind of like a wake-up call for him. I think how close it's gonna be. I think he's gonna think about retiring soon. I still think he's gonna win it by decision, split decision, but I think it's gonna be a wake-up call for Manny, and he's gonna say, hey, I think it's time to maybe call it a career. Like I said, close fight, split decision win. I hope you enjoyed my prediction. Comment on my video if you want, if you disagree or agree. Nicely, please. Don't blow me up and say you're doubting Manny too much. You're pessimistic. Don't do that, please. I don't like any of that. I'll just flag your comment or delete it. Just give me some nice analysis. Tell me what you think. Why am I wrong, or how am I right in some ways? And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's CityChampion19 at YouTube.com. Boxing is not the only sport I will be covering. I'm a huge 49er fan. All of you NFL fans out there, I'm a huge 49er fan. For baseball, I'm a Giants fan. Their season right now, they're a young team, so we have to wait. My dad thinks that the Giants are going to the World Series again this year. That's a young team right now. They got Melky Cabrera and some other guys and a young team. And Sandoval's set to return soon, but I think that's a team that needs to grow a little more. We have to wait at the end of the season to see if they make the playoffs. But anyway, enough about baseball. Back to boxing. Pacquiao wins, split decision. You heard it already. 5 times from me. Sorry, I repeat myself. But I hope you enjoyed my analysis of this fight. I'm also covering the NBA playoffs. Go Celtics. Time to clinch. Almost there. Hopefully they do beat the Heat tonight. And I'm also covering the Olympics. A little bit of the Olympics. I'm also covering the French Open. You know what? About the French Open, just give the trophy to Nadal already. Come on, guys. No disrespect to the other guys. I think Nadal they just need to give that trophy to him already. He hasn't dropped a single set yet, so I'll be offering my predictions on the French Open possibly tomorrow, or even today. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel, CityChampion19, and I hope you enjoyed my prediction on this fight. And hope you all have a good day.